And welcome everybody to University of Tampa Baseball. We are live and in color at the Spartans Stadium as the Spartans get ready to take on Florida Southern in the second game of a three-game weekend series and the first game of a doubleheader today. Florida Southern came in yesterday and upset the Spartans. 3-1 was the final score last night as the Spartans had some opportunities but just didn't get enough timely hitting to push some runs across. So it's a new day, and we'll see how it goes. The Spartans' first loss in conference play yesterday. They are 12-1 on the season. With the win for Florida Southern, they moved to 7-5. Jack Ike along with Taylor Stolworthy as we get ready for this game on a almost cloudless day here in downtown Tampa. And Taylor, last night the Spartans had numerous opportunities to get some runs, just couldn't get them any across. 9 walks and a hit batter given up by Florida Southern. Twice the Spartans had innings with the bases loaded and 1 out and couldn't get any runs across. We'll see what happens today.
Yeah, that'll be the goal for Tampa. And it was a great day on the mound for Robert Staton. He went 7 2/3. He only gave up 2 runs in the game. Normally that's enough for Tampa to win, but a great job by the Mocs to shut down the Spartans. And B.J. Bailey, who sets the start today, is the only undefeated pitcher remaining in the rotation for the Spartans.
He comes in with an 8-0 record, same as Satin did yesterday. Bailey, 8-0 on the year. This is his 10th appearance. This is his 11th appearance. It'll be his 9th start of the year. 50 innings pitched to this point, giving up 40 hits, 12 runs, only 8 of them earned. Walked 10, struck out 46. That is a great ratio to have. And his ERA standing at 1.44. So the Spartans made a couple changes in the lineups today as they will have Jordan Evans leading off. Gunnar Carlson is going to be playing in the field. He'll be the first baseman. Nick Pereira will be the DH for today's game. And behind the plate is Joander Irigoyen. Around the infield for the Spartans, as we said, first base is Carlson. Second base is Braden Woodburn. Third base is Jack Martinez. Shortstop, Jesse Ponce. Left field belongs to Javi Soto. Center field is Jordan Evans, and Jake Brooks is the right fielder. Spartans are now 26-5 overall, their first loss. Teams that are chasing the Spartans picked up some wins yesterday. This is the only game in the Sunshine State Conference today. Everybody else, the 4 other series, were played Thursday and Friday. And the reason behind that is if they were rained out, they did not want to have to play on Easter Sunday, so they moved it to Thursday, Friday. Almost a cloudless day here in Tampa. We're going to get these 2 games in with no problem. But Eckerd and Rollins both picking up a couple wins yesterday and are now 14-4, have actually won 2 more games than the Spartans. But Tampa at 12-1, Eckerd and Rollins 14-4. First pitch of the game, down the middle, we've got a strike on Ryan Jenkins. So, Taylor, we need Tampa to have a doubleheader sweep to even up with 14 wins that Rollins and Eckerd also have, though they've played 3 more games.
Yeah, the games in hand always going to be useful for the Spartans at this stage of the season. An interesting race for the conference title. The Tars, they're always among the top teams. They had a bit of a retooling year last year, but they're ready to go as potential playoff contenders again. But I'm really excited about the Eckerd Tritons, who, after, kind of being middle, bottom of the table last season, have really broken out in a big way this year.
Florida Southern, with that 7-5 record, sits in 4th, but it's the top 3 teams that are clearly running away with it right now. Strike 2, 2-2.
I was able to actually call one of Eckerd's games earlier this year when they one-ruled Roosevelt at the end of a doubleheader. And you can tell that their offense is really moving this season. Should be an exciting showdown between the Tritons and Spartans later on.
Jenkins goes down swinging. First out, a K for Bailey. Mikey Scott coming to the plate. He'll be followed by Eric Harrison, Carson Brady, Corey Philly, Will Burke, Brock Budacki, Eli Thurman, and Brady Dury. First pitch just a little bit outside.
Mikey Scott was someone that was one to watch yesterday, and he did a good job. Singled in the third, walked in the fifth.
Umpires for today's game, same crew as yesterday. They've just switched spots as Marcial Santos behind the plate and David Arrieta out on the bases. (2-0). That's hit out into left field. Coming in is Soto in his tracks, and he makes the catch for the out. That one was hit pretty much straight at him. Those are sometimes tough balls to judge because you don't have the angle to tell whether it's going to get past you or fall in front of you. You just have to hope you made the right call. He came in about 5 steps and pulled it in.
As long as it doesn't roll behind you, even if it drops in front, it's never usually a bad outcome. You would prefer to make the catch more often.
Yep, that first step is critical on a ball like that. Not to dwell on anything in the past, but the first time I ever played in City League baseball up in Wisconsin, I was put in right field. The first ball hit to me, a line drive right to me. I took 3 steps in, and it went well over my head.
Same thing for me in intramural softball. Tried to play in on a ball towards me, and I think it landed over my head a couple feet.
And I heard a guy on the bench go, "Who got this guy?" Ball hit out into right field, foul.
Even though I was terrible on defense, I did carry at least an above 250 average in that league.
There you go.
But also for intramural softball, that's slow pitch. That's probably the going rate for an average, 250 at least. Probably a bit higher.
And there's a base hit over Ponce's jump. So a second batter single. We'll bring Carson Brady, Carson Brady to the plate. 2 down, man on. Last night was alumni night. Stands were packed. Not quite the same today. Still a good crowd. Florida Southern, just a short drive over to Lakeland. Bailey, the tall lefty, looks in. Nice pitch, swing and a miss. Ahead 0-2. Bailey has the sign. And the 0-2. Ground ball foul. We'll do the 0-2 again. Bounces in the dirt. Runner holds. Ground ball right up the middle, and that one, Bailey had to do a little dance to get out of the way. Yesterday's game, Satin took one off the ankle. Went down for a few seconds. That was in like the first or second inning. It was early.
I don't think it really messed up Satin, though. He was good to go the distance, good for the rest of his start. But just like yesterday, you're seeing some good swings and clean contact out of the Mocs offense.
So 2 on, 2 out. Corey Philly to the plate. Philly at 270 on the year, watches a ball high.
Philly's got good durability, too. He's been the everyday catcher this season for the Mocs, and that's not a position that's always an everyday spot in the order. Usually you'll have someone rotate in a little more often, a very physically demanding position.
He's one of 4 players on the Mocs with more than 100 at-bats. Though Eli Thurman will hit 100 on his next at-bat. One. Chopper out to Ponce and takes a nice bounce, shovels it to Woodburn for the force, and the inning is over. Mocs get a couple base hits, but that's as much as happens. So we've played a half an inning. Florida Southern does not score. Tampa coming to bat. You're watching right here on TampaSpartans.tv.
To short. This could do it. Time to celebrate, Tampa. It's all over. The championship goes to the Spartans.
To the bottom of the first we go. Spartans will have Jordan Evans leading off, followed by Braden Woodburn, Gunnett Carlson, Joanna Irigoyen hitting cleanup. Jake Brooks is in the 5 spot. Nick Pereira at 6. Javi Soto 7. Jack Martinez 8. And Jesse Ponce is number 9. Ty Bradle. Florida Southern will have Corey Philly behind the plate, Eric Harrison at first, Brady Dory at second, Carson Brady at third. Shortstop is Ryan Jenkins, Mikey Scott in left, Eli Thurman in center, and Will Burke in right.
Ty Bradle takes the mound for Florida Southern. He's had a pretty good season, 43 strikeouts and 36 2/3, and a 2-2 record of 2.95 ERA.
Bradle out of the stretch, common among pitchers these days, no matter if there's a man on or not. First pitch to Jordan Evans is called strike. Evans with a .392 batting average. Played in 30 games, started 29 of them. Has 120 at-bats.
Quiet day yesterday for him, though. That takes him under 400 for his seasonal average.
Just missing. 2 balls, 1 strike. Playing Evans straight away. Ground ball foul. Zips past the Spartans dugout. .85 degrees at game time. I know you and I both took a hike down on the field. It is hot on that field, though.
It always can be.
It may say 85.
Yeah, but it feels a bit warmer down there. Tampa able to wear the cooler white jerseys, I think, in terms of absorbing heat for game 1.
Anybody else want water?
3-2 pitch. That's way high, and Spartans get a leadoff walk to Jordan Evans.
You know, Jack, there is something about those leadoff walks.
Huh, it's funny you bring it up. If you look at all the different ways to get on base, hits, errors, hit by pitch, balk, whatever, walks, coaches will always tell you a walk is the worst thing you could do to a leadoff hitter because they score so much more than other times, and it's not true.
Yep. It is completely a realistically incorrect stat.
They're just trying to make you not walk the leadoff hitter, make them earn their way on. A leadoff hitter scores about, no matter how they get on, about 33% of the time.
There is one that scores 100% of the time, though. And that's leadoff home run.
Leadoff home run, yes. Woodburn waiting for a pitch that he wants to bunt, making no secret of the fact he's going to lay down a bunt.
I like that out of Woodburn. You know, he's got Bradel to kind of pitch away, trying to get weak contact on the bunt, and he's now up 2-1 in the count. Actually, I believe it should be 2-0.
I think it's 2-0, yeah.
Yeah, there was a phantom strike on the scoreboard. But a hitter like Woodburn could just quickly now change his approach to swinging away, and he's very dangerous when he's up like this.
What do you think the discussion was after that second pitch missed, but a bunt was shown? Maybe not the right pitch he was expecting?
Probably that, or Philly just maybe saying to Bradel, hey, trust the defense, fired the zone.
And again, he misses the zone.
And you'd hate to walk Woodburn when he's trying to give you an out.
Yes.
I like the idea, though, out of Coach Urso. Tampa's offense was pretty quiet yesterday, so I think he's trying to just manufacture a run here, use a little small ball to see if he can get the players a little more active.
He'll probably show bunt and pull it back. And he walked him on 4 pitches. And Taylor, a very prophetic comment by you, don't walk a guy who's trying to make an out.
And unsurprisingly, an immediate talk.
Rick Odette says we got to talk this one over because, again, he was trying to make an out. So back-to-back walks. Spartans had 9 walks and a hit batter yesterday and couldn't get any of them in.
Yeah, notably, they were able to work 6 walks against Sachem Ramos, who fired 5 2/3 innings of 1-run ball. He had 7 walks in 43 innings entering the day, but he was effectively wild as he kept Tampa off the base path enough to exit 3-3. And it was a gritty outing for him, 110 pitches. Wow. He almost escaped the 6th, but some late offense forced Odell out of the bullpen. He got out of the jam. Tampa then got Odell in trouble. Kelly got out of the jam, but there's no one coming to save the starter, Bradel, just yet.
And Carlson showing bunt, and he pulls it back because it's way high.
Obviously, it's a risk to go middle on a pitch to Gunnar Carlson. He can definitely make you pay and take it deep. The rights transfer with good power, but I think you have to here.
The Spartans are conceding the out to move the runner, and it's ball high again. I mean, not just high. Philly has to come out of his stance and jump to get it.
I would not be surprised if the mock starting gets someone tossing down to the bullpen after
I've
this
looked
at
down
bat.
twice, but again, the Spartans are trying to sacrifice a runner. Ball 3. This one almost in the zone, but it was high. 3-0. Oh, wow. Call strike, 3-1. Stopped 7 consecutive balls. Actually, more than that because he walked the first batter. 3-1. Shows bunt. The pitch. Pulls it back. Strike 2. Full count. I think Carlson was just not going to lay that one down anyway. See if he can come in again. Now, swinging away on a 3-2 count. Runners on first and second. Bradel sets. Fires. Misses outside. He has loaded the bases in the first inning with 3 consecutive walks. And as you thought, people are stirring down in the Florida Southern bullpen. And now Rick Odette is arguing something. That looked like ball 4.
I will say, I think the two previous pitches were ball 4. But
Yeah.
I think Odette has an argument that would have been strike 3 on the payoff pitch. I think the right outcome, ball 4, did come, but I also think that the home plate umpire, Marcial Santos, had benefited Bradle a little bit. Tampa might be going squeeze.
They're showing it again. Maybe it's just Joe Urso saying, I dare you to throw strikes.
Maybe he's just trying to get into the head of Bradle a little
Yeah.
bit still.
Yeah.
Tampa's been able to run up his pitch count early, too, just like yesterday against Ramos.
Yeah. 0-1. Ball hit foul. That may be, I know it's only the fourth batter, that may be the first ball that's been hit, fair or foul. Oh, 2 to Irigoyen, fouled off again.
Yeah, it's important for Irigoyen just to protect there and keep the at-bat going. A strikeout is exactly what you don't want in the spot because it gives Bradle confidence.
Mm-hmm.
He's already walked the bases loaded, and you can tell he's not bringing his A game at the moment. You want to make him pay while the iron's hot.
Ground ball, foul. Hopped over the third base, about 10 feet foul.
There isn't anyone fully warming up yet, but we do see some stretching and tossing.
Yep.
Keith Clevenger, the graduate out of Samford, warming up. And I also saw Christian Carew making his way down there, another graduate out of Eastern Illinois.
And we'll do the 0-2 again. Ground ball up the middle. Does it go through? No. They toss. They get one. No relays. Run scores. Spartans are on the board. Dury got to that ball well behind second, was able to toss it over to the shortstop covering Jenkins, but it was a slow roller, and by the time they got the force, no chance for the relay. So now, first and third, one out.
That's a good productive out there for Irigoyen. Dury, if there wasn't a runner at third, probably does have a chance at the double play ball. Would have been a close play at first, but they don't want a bad throw surrendering a second run.
Jake Books. Ball 1. So Spartans strike first in this one. Ball outside.
It's definitely a tight strike zone today for Bradle. You know, he's been missing his spot quite a bit, but he's also had a handful of pitches right on the black that he just hasn't gone to go his way, notably ball 4 to Carlson.
Right. 2-0. Fouled off. Books, 293 on the season. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Down low, 3-1. Another 3-ball count. And the pitch. High ball 4. That is a fourth walk. Nobody throwing yet down in the Florida Southern bullpen. They're, as you mentioned, they're trying to stretch and get ready. 4 walks. Bases loaded again. And Pereira to the plate.
Bradle only 13 walks in 36 innings entering today. Clearly something went wrong during warm-ups for his command to be this shaky.
Ball low. Now I think it's a head game. You've walked 4.
And you really don't get a bit of rest against the Tampa lineup. There's no easy opponents that you could say, hey, I'll just get a bit more aggressive. You're probably not going to take me yard.
Yep.
And I also wonder how deep you let Bradle go if he can't get the outright here, or if he concedes the 5th walk. That would likely send someone in.
Tapped into the catcher's mitt for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think this is the first time Pereira is getting the home start at the DH. Rotates with Irigoyen at the catcher position.
1-2, bases full. Fouled off. Finally, somebody's actually throwing down in the Florida Southern bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bradle fires. Bounces it in the dirt. That'll make it 2-2.
Right before that pitch was thrown, Woodburn took a couple steps off the bag, kind of faking running home. Again, I think still trying to keep Bradle in an uncomfortable position here.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Slow pitch. Pereira just way ahead of that one. 2 outs now. Bases still loaded, 1 run in.
That's a good 2-strike slider out of Bradle. An important out for him, as Soto also still ever dangerous at the plate.
Javi Soto, the 7th batter to come to the plate this inning. Strike call. Spartans faced these situations yesterday. Didn't get the timely hit. We need one here. We'll bring in 2. Fouled off.
Yeah, both of Tampa's runs in spots like this came with an exchange for an out. Fielder's choice from Irigoyen and the sac fly yesterday from Evans.
0-2. Outside low. 1-2. One, 2 with 2 out. Wow, just missed. That one looked pretty good.
I looked on our broadcast angle. It just was a tad bit low. Philly might have been a little aggressive in framing it. Might be the thing. But that was on the border. I think very unlucky for Bradle to not end the inning on that.
2-2 pitch. Off speed, fly ball heading out to center field. Thurmond comes in a few steps, waits, and the inning is over. Spartans load the bases, just get 1 run out of it, but they take the lead. We played 1 full inning. It is Tampa 1, Florida Southern nothing on the Sunshine.
To short. This could do it. Time to celebrate, Tampa. It's all over. The championship goes to the Spartans.
Gee. Top of the second inning we go. Tampa up 1-0. It will be Burke, Badaki, Thurmond. Bailey with a nice first inning. Did give up a couple hits, but the Spartan defense came through. As you mentioned, the remaining starter on the Spartan staff without a loss on the ledger.
Sandin and Blanton do only have 1 defeat. Blanton, the probable game 2 arm. My question is, who will get the call for the Tuesday matchup against Valdosta State? Because due to some kind of rotations out of the bullpen and Sammy Beer still kind of resting up, that's moved Tobin Moran to be a high leverage reliever for the Spartans. Coach Urso was mentioning he's been happy with Moran's pitching, and that's why he kind of became the fill-in guy alongside Luke Fiker in the role. So I don't know if it would be a spot start for Tobin Moran or if it would be more of a flexible bullpen day, or we'll have to wait and see who the third Spartan, or fifth Spartan guy to get a start the season will be.
And it is a non-conference game, but it is a region game, so it does carry importance. Nice off-speed pitch, swing and a miss by Will Burke. Giving him a lot of room in left field down the line. And he goes, sends one rocketing into the Florida Southern dugout. It comes out and rolls out to first base.
Friendly fire there from Will Burke. Scary situation.
Might have hit the fence in front.
I think it rattled off like the post on the fence, so it gave that metallic sound.
Yeah, it shot out all the way back to the infield. 0-2. Bailey with a long look. Just missing.
Yeah.
That's the right call there.
I will say for Bailey as well, he's going to have a tough time getting those corners.
Yeah, a few Spartan fans didn't like the call. It was outside.
Yeah.
Winds and fires. Bloops one down the line. Foul by 10 feet.
But the edges of the plate today definitely more batter focused. And even though Bailey maybe had a couple of closer calls that went his way compared to Bradle in the first, I don't imagine that things are going to stay that easy for the southpaw.
Bounces that one in the dirt. And did they say he swung and missed at it? He swung?
Yeah.
Okay. That one bounced in the dirt in front of the plate. But Burke swung anyway.
Next up is the designated hitter number 58, Brock Udon.
That's an effective pitch, I guess.
I think so. If you get the guy to go a little bit early. It was kind of funny. Irigoyen tried to make the tag on the drop third strike and missed. But he had plenty of time to toss to Carlson.
Badaki now to the plate. .319 average.
He had a clutch hit yesterday against Tobin Moran, set the table in the ninth to help put the Mocs up 3-1, eventually scoring on the Thurmond RBI.
Fouled off 1-1. Again, the book must say they don't hit it down the line because Soto is way off the line in left field. Outside.
I think Coach is a little more worried about the gap hits than the line hits. Because if you can poke it down the line, I think Urso is fine with you taking a double, maybe even a triple in a spot like this. But he'd rather not have it where both Evans and Soto can't reach in that left gap. And likewise, Books and Evans out and right.
Down the middle for a strike. 2-2. One hopper. Got a strikeout on that pitch last at bat. The other thing, too, most of his pitches have been either down the middle or outside, which would be hard to get around to put it down the line. So it might be a question of just Joe knowing his pitcher. Strike. No. Oh, I thought he was ready to pull the trigger. Ball 4. I thought it was high.
The ump kind of pulled back.
Gave a jerking motion.
Yeah, that's definitely a close call.
Yeah. Eli Thurmond to the plate now.
How many challenges do you think there would have been if the ABS system was in play?
We'd have had 5 already. And by the way, are there limits to how often you can do it? Is it 1 per at bat or
2 per game if you fail? So it's like the NFL challenge, so you have a challenge. If you win, you keep it. You lose it. Same thing for video reviews actually, but get more usage I think out of the ABS calls.
I saw one the other day. I see it on a few things I look at. Guy challenged a strike call, so they replayed it, and it was right down the middle of the plate.
That's happened a few times. I know Ben Rice recently did that for the Yankees. Also, C.B. Buckner had an interesting ABS story against the Reds and Red Sox.
There's one. Relay, not going to get him, but they got the lead runner. Buckner has been gotten his name in the headlines these days. What, he missed like 15 calls in one game?
Yeah, I mean, it was in that game, Red Sox and Reds, where the Red Sox missed their first 2 challenges and then got some pretty rough calls down the stretch, and they couldn't challenge it. The Reds, meanwhile, they had like 7 successful challenges. And one time, they had like 2 in a single at-bat on back-to-back pitches.
Ball outside.
And notably, it came with the bases loaded and 2 outs with 2 strikes. So both times, it would have ended the inning on a call that was outside the plate.
One ball, 2 outs. Strike call.
I enjoyed it at the pro level, but I don't think we need the ABS challenges here in Tampa.
No. I believe, was it last year, maybe 2 seasons ago, the Spartans went to Houston to play in like a 3-game series or weekend and played in the ballpark the Astros play in, and it had the ABS available. And Joe Urso said it actually kind of hurt them because they thought they could challenge everything when they came back here. And he's like, hey, these umpires are going to be different. You don't get to challenge. So if it's close, you got to swing. He said they just became reliant on, hey, if it's close, I'm going to challenge.
Yeah, and you're not going to get away with that at the birdcage.
1-1. Just missing outside. Two balls, 1 strike. Fouled off, 2-2 now. Bailey looks in. Check swing. Did not go around. We'll go full 3-2.
Only the second full count for Bailey. Came earlier against Badaki.
Badaki, who's now on first base, walked. Actually, Badaki was out at second. Run goes. Ground ball. They're going to have to go to first. Ponce, quick. In time, inning over. So they get a man on, but that's it. We played an inning and a half. Tampa on top, 1-0, right here on TampaSpartans.tv.
Lead me in, Coach. Popped up. Your winner and still champion, the Tampa Spartans.
Bottom of the second, Brado back on. Brado back on the mound as we go to the second inning, bottom of the second for Tampa. Spartans picking up a run in the first inning. 4 walks by Bradle. We'll see if he has a little more command. I think he's very lucky. Only 1 run scored.
Yeah, Tampa have been cold at the plate for the weekend. You typically don't have a bases loaded situation against the Spartans and no outs and escape with just 1 run.
Yeah,
so great battling by Bradle.
Typically make you pay. Martinez to the plate. Number 9 hitter in the order, or number 8 hitter in the order today. Ponce on deck, and then the top of the order. First pitch inside. Makes Martinez slide out of the way.
I was actually surprised that Bradle did have 17 strikes in the first inning on 37 pitches.
That one catches the inside corner, 1-1. Ground ball toward third, knocked down. They're going to try the throw, and he's going to beat it out. May go down as an error on Brady.
Unless they grade the deflection as an error, that throw that pulled the first baseman off was not going to be in time. So
No.
I would give the hit to Martinez, and I believe actually
They put an error up there. Yep.
They are going to give him an error.
It was a fieldable ball, and by dropping it, it allowed the runner to beat it out. Ponce now to the plate. 253 average. Do they try to move him? Gets down a nice bunt. They're not going to go to second. They have to go to first in time. And little elbow thrown out there. And now we've got a runner going to third. The ball thrown back to the pitcher. Got away from Bradle. And an alert. Martinez, who went to second on the bunt, goes to third.
Martinez taking a little lead off a second at the end of the play, and miscommunication or just a little slip up by the Mocs gets him the extra 90 feet. That's heads up on the base path there by Martinez. I also like the bunt there from Ponce. Good job for him to get it down cleanly today.
Yes.
And he's got the speed to beat those out sometimes, especially if he can surprise the defense with it.
He hit that one, or bunted that one, pretty much straight back at the pitcher. Eliminated any real chance of beating it out. Top of the order, this is Evans. Fouls it off. One-oh pitch. Ooh, look good, no call.
On the broadcast camera, the infield umpire kind of standing right where the strike zone is, but from our angle, it definitely looked pretty close.
Close. Philly held it. Arrieta did not bite. 2-0. That's way outside. 3-0. 3-1. Three-one on the way. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to get through, and the Spartans will take a 2-0 lead. Evans with the base hit.
First RBI hit of the series for the Spartans. Fielder's choice and sac fly for the initial 2.
Brings up Braden Woodburn to the plate. 1 out, 1 on. Swinging away, or not showing bunt anyway, but he takes a called strike. Ground ball gets through over the shortstop. Jenkins, runners at first and second on back-to-back hits by the Spartans.
Definitely rather Bradel give up runners like this on some well-placed balls rather than the walks that he had in the first inning. He's definitely feeling more comfortable out there, but at the same time, disappointing for the Mocs that he's not turning that into the out.
Carlson at the plate now.
Don't know if that's a splitter out of Bradel, but it drops pretty late in terms of its arrival to the plate.
1-0 pitch. Ground ball foul.
Gunnar Carlson, he has been walking a ton this season, up to 33 on the year.
That's more than one a game. Tap foul. We've mentioned it a few times this year. Is don't give Spartans free base runners because normally they will make you pay.
And this time they have with the error. I think it's now up to 13 walks for the weekend series.
Yeah, with 9 yesterday. Fouled off. Bradel walked the bases full on the first three batters in the first, then added one more.
Yeah, Irigoyen scored a runner and gave him an out with a fielder's choice, but then the bases got loaded right after.
Oh, Carlson went golfing after that one. Strike three call, 2 down. So 2 down, 2 on, and 2 out. Irigoyen now to the plate. That one just misses. As Taylor mentioned, Spartans will have a game Tuesday right here, Valdosta State, 5 o'clock. Spartans will hit the road for the next 2 weekends in SSC play after this. Ball high.
And afterwards, Tampa will end out the month of April against Florida Tech. The Friday matchup is going to have a pregame tailgate by the first year studies and the Henry.
Swing and a miss. There was that slider you were talking about. That one is hit, runs back to the wall, and way up on the fence. A 3-run homer for Irigoyen, and the Spartans take a 5-0 lead. Irigoyen, home run number 5 on the season, and a 5-0 Tampa lead. That was way up on the fence.
That was probably 400.
Yeah, there's a screen that goes around the ballpark, keeping balls in play because it's an urban campus, a couple major roads, some dorms.
I'd imagine that home run does get the bullpen active again for the Mocs.
Yep. Jake Books at the plate. He walked in the first inning, the 4th walk of the inning. And there's a base hit down the left field line. It's going to go all the way to the corner. Books is rounding first, heading to second, and he will cruise in with a stand-up double. We both kind of glanced at the Mocs dugout, and we now see Rick Odette coming out. It's his first visit this inning, but I would bet that might be it for Bradle.
Yeah, Tampa immediately with another chance ball. Pereira with the guy in scoring position. This might indeed just be a check-in.
Just having a conversation. I don't think the pitcher's been warming up that long.
I think it's the same guy from the first inning. That would either be Clevenger or the 33 of Carew.
He stopped throwing, so I thought maybe Odette was just trying to stall for time, get a few more pitches in.
Now the umpire also joining the team huddle.
And he's going to make the change. So he was just trying to get him a few more pitches, and that'll be it for Ty Bradle. Other than he'll be responsible for the man on base. So this game, the Spartans are coming up with the timely hits. And we'll figure out who's coming in. Why don't we take a break while we wait and let them warm up? 5-0 Tampa.
Lead, game 2 of 3. Duran goes fishing. It's another. Leisure deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's ball game. 1-2. Strike 3.
Turned out to be a great eye by Ed.
Rain or shine. Swing and a miss. Ortiz chase the slider.
Leisure deals. Held on by McGuire.
Heath Clevenger coming in to pitch for Florida Southern. Tall, he's a righty, grad student, 6'6", 225 from Alpharetta, Georgia. Went to Samford University before coming to Lakeland. Brings in a 3.31 ERA. This is his 12th appearance of the year, all in relief. Though he does have a 3-0 record. 16 and a third innings pitched, giving up 10 hits, 8 runs, 6 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Take that back, 6 earned runs, 11 walks, 10 strikeouts. So he's pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio walks to strikeouts. He will inherit a runner at second, Jake Books, and a deficit of 5-0. Nick Pereira at the plate. Strike call, inside corner. Curved it in. Books, relatively short lead at second. Ball outside. With 2 outs, he's going to score on a hit anyway, so you don't need to take too many chances out there, though they're not even attempting to hold him on. Off speed, swing and a miss.
It was a similar slider out of Bradle that retired Pereira back in the first.
The 2-2. Wow, looked good. Clevenger 3 steps toward the dugout. Will come back for the 3-2 pitch.
Philly again doing a good job framing. But so far today, Santos not giving him anything.
bounces it in the dirt, a walk, so his first batter is a walk. Runners now first and second with 2 out. And we're down to Javi Soto leading off. This is the 16th batter to bat in the first 2 innings for Tampa. Oh, 1 pitch coming up to Soto. Ooh, good stop there by Philly. Kept that one from going to the backstop. Again down in the dirt. Philly playing goalie at the moment. And we are 2-1. Wow, that one close, but it's 3-1. Runners at first and second. Books, Pereira. Soto waits on the 3-1 pitch. Down the middle, full count. Now we're at a full count, so runners can move with 2 out. Clevenger sets and fires. Runners go. Ground ball to third. It's going to take a long throw, and they got him. That one took a hop on the throw from third to first. Almost looked like Harrison had it pop out of his mitt. It did not. Inning is over. Spartans, though, pick up 3 on an Irigoyen home run and now lead by a score of 5-0 after 2. We'll take a break. Be right back on TampaSpartans.tv.
Final strike. The Tampa fans that were sitting, those weren't very many, all stand and applaud. Line drive, caught. The Tampa Spartans, your 2013 Division II baseball champions.
Top of the third inning we go. B.J. Bailey on the mound. You know, Taylor, I was listening to, or I saw this article by the Kelsey brothers who have a podcast, and they were talking about the different ways athletes are trying to get in condition for their sport, and they were discussing how pitchers are not being trained in the right way. Said, you don't need a pitcher doing sprints. You don't need them doing a long distance to get in shape. They said the average pitch takes less than 2 seconds to throw, and then you do it again repeatedly. Now, they weren't saying exactly what a pitcher should be doing, but they said sprints and conditioning like that don't do anything for them. You know, they're out there for 3 hours, but they're not doing any long-term work. You need to get them prepared for that 2 seconds to pitch the ball.
Yeah, like you'd think that maybe running long distances helps with stamina, but at the same time, how tired are you getting in terms of heavy breathing when you're pitching?
Yes.
It's going to be more so the arm fatigue and maybe full body wear rather than, ooh, geez, I'm running a lot. I feel tired. I need to catch my breath. Catching your breath isn't going to help you on pitch number 122 of the game.
So they didn't know exactly what should happen, but they were saying the same thing you did. Get the arm in shape, maybe the upper body. In pitching, legs, being able to push off the mound gets you more speed on your pitch than your arm speed. Off-speed pitch.
Good leverage and good positioning
Yeah,
always going
your
to be key.
technique of driving with your legs is where you're going to get your velocity. 0-2 pitch. One hops it. But I just found that interesting that they thought of that. I remember there was a book written, I can't even remember who wrote it, it's quite a long time ago now, but he was getting very analytical on players and how they play in the field. 1-2. Swing and a miss. They're going to throw down the first. And they were discussing, they watched Cal Ripken playing shortstop, and they mentioned how many times he got up on his toes for a pitch. Now, whether that's really relevant or anything, but they said, a few hundred times he gets up on his toes to get prepared for a pitch.
It's always interesting thinking about defensive analytics. That's the one thing that has been harder to put to numbers than anything else from pitching and batting. You've got so many statistics, xWOBA, xFIP, Sierra. You got so many analytical ways that you can try to take a look at pitchers and batters, remove different variables, try to guesstimate performances, see how trends go. But one spot where they've kind of struggled with that has been fielding. I think because there's so much variance in terms of the stadiums, the speed and capability of players, how the wind is moving, it's hard to track exactly how the ball is going to behave in any situation, and how fielders would probably behave too.
Ground ball, Ponce, one hop throw, nice job to Carlson for the out. You're talking about field variables. A few years ago, the Cubs were notorious for letting the infield the grass in the infield grow long, because they'd play teams that would like to bunt, and it would just slow it down and make it easier, catcher, pitcher to come out. They weren't going to roll it down the line. If you put it on the dirt, maybe you have a chance. But they said they let their grass grow long. Ponce will try it again. Sunday hop. Inning is over. Quick inning for the Spartans. They'll hold on to the 5-0 lead. Tampa, 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Florida Southern, no runs, 2 hits, an error. We'll head to the bottom, or the top of the 4th. Nope, make that the bottom of the 3rd. And the Spartans are holding on to a 5-0 lead. We'll be right back.
Tampa fans into it. The 1-2 to Brooks. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Tampa wins the national championship. A 3-1 victory over Catawba as the Spartans go undefeated in Cary, and they dogpile.
Bottom of the 3rd we go. Clevenger back on the mound for Florida Southern. 5-0 Tampa on top. We can close the book on Bradle. Ends up with just 1 2/3 innings pitched. Gave up 4 hits, 5 runs. Only 1 run was earned. Walked 4, struck out 2, but threw 64 pitches. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, I don't know necessarily if the runs being allowed should have been 4 of them unearned. I guess maybe the argument is the 3-run home run was with 2 outs, so without the error wouldn't have happened. But then in that case, you'd have 2 earned runs for Bradle. I wrote it down as 4 for now. We'll have to see how it kind of fully averages out stat-wise. Errors and earned runs are always an interesting stat to look at.
Right.
But I will say, that for Bradle, the error didn't help him, but he didn't do himself too many favors out there either.
Jack Martinez will lead off. He walked and scored in the 2nd. Joe ducks down, otherwise he'd have taken one off the helmet. Few clouds moving in, not rain clouds by any stretch, just the fluffy ones.
There is one rule from NPB, Jack, that I think really needs to be implemented across American levels of the game, as that's going to clip the corner, strike
NPB
1.
being Japanese baseball? Okay.
Yes, Japanese baseball. And that is the dangerous pitch rule. A hit by pitch on the head being an automatic ejection.
Really?
Even if it's unintentional.
Huh.
But it makes sense, if you're plunking someone in the head, even by mistake, that's a pretty rough spot, especially if it's a good 90-plus mile-an-hour fastball.
Right.
So it would make sense to kind of try to urge you to not miss those spots. I know Brian Wu did that last night to Mike Trout.
Taylor references Japanese baseball a lot because he has been Mr. Japanese Baseball this weekend. How many? You've done at least 2 games and
a
couple Spartan games. What Taylor does is he does English versions of Japanese baseball games in the U.S. And he does them from his house, watching monitors.
Yep, remote broadcasts.
And their games are always at midnight or later.
Yeah, remote broadcasts with FTF Sports. We cover Pacific League Baseball. You can see players like Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki. And the games are 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Very late nights. And I actually had one last night.
Ooh, that one hit him. So not at the helmet, but off the arm. And a runner on first. So, again, a lot of free base runners for the Spartans.
I think that home run out of Uruguayan might be the spark that helps wake up Tampa in these clutch positions. I think they needed one big play to kind of open the door, or open the gates for the scoring.
Ponce now to the plate. 3rd inning, 2nd at bat already. He's the number 9 hitter in the order. 18th batter of the day. He puts a bunt down. Pretty good one. This is going to be close. The throw to first. They got him. That one just kind of died. I think it was that Wrigley Field grass out there. Slowed that one down. It was pretty much a sacrifice, but he was looking to get on anyway.
At the end of the play there, Martinez once again stood off the bag.
Okay.
Because in the previous play in the sack bunt, the throw from the first baseman back to the mound was dropped.
Yeah.
And that allowed Martinez to reach third. But this time the Mocs a little more careful. They don't let the same thing happen twice.
Well, Martinez noticed nobody was really covering second. He's got a healthy lead. Woodburn bloops it. Does it stay fair? Does it get down? It does both. And that's going to send Martinez across the plate. Woodburn's going to have to hustle back to first. But that one just did exactly what was needed. It stayed fair and it got down. 6-0 Tampa.
I think Scott was trying to bait Martinez into going back, kind of slowly going to it. He knew he couldn't get it. But he does a good job of making sure that Evans can't reach second on the play. Then again, he might be delaying the inevitable. Evans, one of Tampa's top base stealers.
I take that back. That was Evans. I think I said Woodburn.
Here's Woodburn, though.
You're supposed to correct me on those,
I'll do better with that.
Okay. And Woodburn shows bunt. Runner goes anyway. One hops, and he is safe. Evans with the steal. That's his 15th, tying Woodburn for 15 in the lead. Now another runner in scoring position, and a 6-0 Tampa lead.
Double checking. Yeah, that is Tampa's first steal of the series.
I don't think they attempted any prior to this.
They did not yesterday. That'll put him now at 50 on the year.
There he goes. He's going to third. Ball low in the dirt. The throw, he's in safely. Back-to-back steals for Evans. He wanted that sole possession of the team lead.
Well, he's got it.
He noticed Clevenger wasn't really looking at him, and the throw was low and outside, and Philly had to backhand it in the dirt and then come up throwing, and by then it was just too late. So now Evans perched on third base with one out. Woodburn doesn't have to worry about laying down a bunt. Swing away, bring him in.
Now that you're down 3-0, I don't know if it's the right move, but I would consider giving Woodburn the free pass and just trying your luck in a new count against Carlson.
Get the double play. Well, you got your wish.
But mainly because if you do challenge Woodburn with a hittable pitch, he also definitely has a tendency to make you pay with extra bases.
Yep.
I mean, he's the type of guy that can get some good pop on the bat, slugging .577 on the year. And he's quietly put up 5 home runs. That's the team lead. Uruguayan did just time.
Tying him. Nobody throwing. Clevenger on his own right now with runners at first and third and one out.
Yeah.
Carlson at the plate.
If there's any trouble for Clevenger, I think Coach Odette will just come out and say, listen, we don't want the bullpen to get burnt out if we're trailing by 7 or 8 or higher. So go as long as you can.
Live
If
to
you're
play
really,
another day, huh?
Yeah, and let us play later today in a way. If it wasn't the doubleheader, maybe you get a little more aggressive with bullpen usage here.
Throw to first. He's back. Middle infielders are playing kind of in. They're not deep. Now they've kind of backed up a little bit.
Yeah, previously trying to cover the out at home, now double play depth.
There goes the runner. Ball is low. He's going to go in. So Woodburn now on second. Evans on third. So there goes the double play situation. And Carlson will step back in. The pitch. Outside. Ball 2, strike 1. They are pulled in now all over the infield. And that one is hit. Chasing him deep, but they've got room. Right fielder comes in and makes the catch, and Burke with the catch. Tagging at third and scoring is Evans, and tagging at second and going to third is Woodburn. It's a 7-0 Tampa lead. High fly, deep enough. 2 outs now, but another run in. Irigoyen, who thrilled the home folks with a home run his last time up, a 3-run shot. Inside. Clevenger fires. Ball, that's going to get down. It's going to go all the way to the wall. And they'll cut off before it gets there, but the run scores. That's Woodburn scoring and going into second with a stand-up double. Irigoyen, he's got a home run and a double today. 8-0 Tampa.
Yeah, 4 RBI game for Irigoyen. Well, 5 RBI. Fielder's choice in the first also gave Tampa the lead. He has been getting a lot of those clutch moments this season. That gives him the outright RBI lead with 37 on the season. Tied with Evans.
Brings Jake Books to the plate. 8-0 lead. Somebody is getting up in the bullpen. As the Spartans are pouring it on after 3 innings today. Ball missing. Christian Carew warming up in the bullpen. Pop foul. Carew, a famous baseball name from years ago. Rod Carew.
And Christian, also 6'6", graduate out of Parker, Colorado. Not related to any famous baseball Carews.
Rod Carew was far from 6'6", I know that.
I actually will mention, though, there was one time 2 years ago where it was actually Pedro Martinez's son that was here.
Yes.
I had Googled it. It didn't initially list him as the kid, so I had said it wrong. So because it's maybe not listed, there is a chance that maybe Rod is the uncle of Christian Carew down there, or maybe another relative
Didn't
of
you
the
go
family.
ask him? Is that how it happened? You went and
No,
asked him?
he came to the booth, and he said, by the way, yeah, Pedro is my dad.
Okay.
It would be a funny opposite position thing again. The kid for Pedro Martinez, a batter. The pitcher related to Rod.
That one may be in the gap as well. Brooks going to head into second base with a double, and scoring from second base is Joanna Irigoyen, and it is a 9-0 Tampa lead. A 1-run first, a 4-run second, and at this point, a 4-run third. Solid hitting today. And it looks like pitching change coming up.
Yeah, I think
if you could just take 2 of these hits from today and put them yesterday, different outcome. Oh, well.
Yeah.
As a coach once told me, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Or Happy Halloween.
Yes.
Payoff pitch to Wilcox. Fouled. Maybe. No fair. Urso got it. Tampa wins the national championship for the second consecutive year. And they now have 10 titles, the most of any team in Division II history.
New pitcher coming in is Christian Carew. So we can get some info on him. He's a, as you said, 6'6" grad student, Parker, Colorado, Eastern Illinois University. And on the season, 7.30 ERA, is 0-2 on the year. This is his 8th appearance. Has started 3 games. 12 and 1/3 innings pitched, 20 hits, 12 runs, 10 of them earned, 8 walks, 16 strikeouts.
He was at Northwest Community College for a few seasons before going to Eastern Illinois. 5-3 last year with Eastern Illinois before making the move to Florida Southern. I was going to say FSU, but I know that actually isn't their abbreviation.
Yes. I think they're technically Florida Southern College.
So FSC. Yeah.
Yes.
I knew that. Why did I forget?
And that's why we're here. We are a checks and balance team.
Carew is a fan of teams out in Colorado. The Nuggets, the Rockies, the Avalanche, and the Broncos.
Okay.
And a fan of Nikola Jokic and Troy Tulowitzki. I do think it's crazy that Nikola Jokic was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial, and he is arguably top 10 player in NBA history.
First batter he's going to face is going to be Nick Pereira. Struck out and walked today. So this is typical Spartan baseball. A lot of runs, more runs than hits. They make you pay if you give them free base runners. Spartans 9 runs, 7 hits. Ball outside, so 2-0 to the first batter he's facing.
Pereira's had 2 deep counts today.
Strike call, 2-1.
Pereira's been a player that I know some of the players and coaches have been excited for regaining health. When I checked in with Jordan Evans, he said he's been excited to see Pereira return from his injury, and Urso said Pereira's going to be important down the stretch.
That one's hit out into right field. Going back is Burke, fighting the sun, catches it just fair to end the inning. That one had a lot of hang time to it, and Burke was able to get to it right on the foul line. Though the Spartans put 4 on the board this inning and have upped the lead to 9-0. We'll take a break. This is TampaSpartans.tv.
Run advantage for Valdez and Tampa. Swung on and a high pop-up. Shallow center field. Mirza comes on. He's got it. Tampa wins the NCAA Division II national champions, the Spartans, their second national title of the 90s.
We head to the top of the fourth inning. B.J. Bailey back on the mound for the Spartans, and Taylor Stolworthy back on the mic for the broadcast team.
Thank you, Jack. We continue with a Tampa lead at the Birdcage. Tampa, 9 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Mocs, they've got nothing on 2 hits and 1 error defensively. That gives a question mark for how many earned runs Brady will have for the day today. And as we continue at the Birdcage, we enjoy a doubleheader as the clouds do start to fill the sky. But weather shouldn't be an issue today at the Birdcage.
They're fluffy clouds. Look like cotton balls up there.
Cotton candy would be a good condiment if we had it at the game. We do have at the concession stand hot dogs, popcorn. We even got Cracker Jack, I believe.
Really?
The classic. We gotta bring Cracker Jack back. We gotta make that a national snack again.
Hey, it's in the song.
Yeah, it's good. It's like it's popcorn and caramel combined, sweet and salty. I mean, of course people are gonna love it. Bailey only on 48 pitches in 3 innings. Obviously, you could be a little more efficient, but he's done a good job even with a tighter strike zone. First pitch to Brady, strike 1. Brady singled back in the first, right after Eric Harrison Jr. Harrison Jr., a two-way player for the Mocs, recruited out of high school as a right-handed pitcher and a shortstop, exclusively with the bat this season. Hit to third, Martinez's throw on target, 1 down.
Took a nice bounce for Martinez, a solid throw.
He's been pretty adept at the corner this season defensively. Tampa got a reliable group of defenders in Martinez, Ponce, and Fiker. Even Devin Goldberg can kind of fill in that side of the infield too. 1 away for Corey Philly, who's had a very eventful day behind home plate. He's been trying to frame so many of the offerings, but getting 0 things to turn his way at the backstop. Also done a good job battling against some wild pitches from time to time. 2-0. One thing Bailey I always see, he's always taken part in pregame kippy-ups with one of the mini, I think, warm-up balls out by left field. Usually get a little Cooper Jimenez in the action too, kind of kicking it back and forth. If we had soccer players on our student staff down at the field, maybe doing photography pregame, I imagine they'd be the first ones to join them in the circle. 3-0 count to Philly. And he'll hit the zone to stay alive. Bailey's only given up 10 walks in over 50 innings this season. Definitely more pitch to contact, and for the most part, has also gotten a lot of outs that way. Under a 9 hit through 9. This one ripped to Ponce. And after all the balls got down against the Spartans yesterday, it's been right to the fielders today for the second out.
Be nice if Bailey gets a short inning. Save on that pitch count.
Tampa's up by 9, so it'll probably be a quick day for Bailey. You reckon he'll be done after 5 or 6.
Yeah, get him enough for the win.
And also allow Urso to get some other arms ready to go out of the bullpen. Tampa's staff not at full health, unfortunately. Sammy Beer still absent for the time being, but he's still in good spirits, and he'll be back ready to go later down the line. You'd rather something like that happen to Beer early in the season rather than late in the season. And Tampa's also got plenty of depth in the wings. Fiker, who's actually been exclusively ready to swing the bat this weekend, and Tobin Moran, who could definitely get a call later today out of the bullpen. As the count goes 2-1, should mention Tobin Moran did have a plate appearance against Embry-Riddle last weekend.
Really?
He went 1 for 2 and he got a hit. I asked him about it, and he mentioned, he was one of the older pitchers on the staff, and seniority is usually, if you're a pitcher getting a plate appearance, how it goes. And, he made the most of his opportunity. And he said, as a player, who's been in the team a while, he's seen a lot of his upperclassmen get those opportunities.
Yeah.
It was a pretty cool experience for him. 2-1 on the way from Bailey.
Well, I'm sure he's telling people he's second on the team in hitting at the moment.
And depending on how quickly we see Casey King back at the plate, he could jump to first. Wonder if King could get a plate appearance today. If Tampa's lead stays this large, you'd imagine Urso would maybe make some shuffles. Swing and a miss for strike 3. It's a 1-2-3 frame for B.J. Bailey, picking up his 4th strikeout in as many innings. Tampa on top 9-0, and 4 scoreless from Bailey brings the Tampa Bats right back to the action here on the SSC Digital Network, TampaSpartans.tv. About ready to go. Carew ready to continue.
Christian Carew on the mound. My bad with Taylor. I gave him a chocolate chip cookie and he's choking on it.
Nah, it was a sensitive tooth right by the filling.
Okay. All right.
For some reason, it's chocolate. That's what sometimes some sweet foods will get there.
Awesome.
Not all the time, but it's probably rich chocolate if I'm kind of feeling it there.
Because you got up quickly there.
I needed to rinse out that tooth because, nothing hurts like a toothache.
No. Well, my wife's kidney stones hurt, though.
Oh, yeah, no, that would be pretty close. So it'll be a 1-1 count now for Badaki. Or no, not Badaki, Soto. He's the lone Spartan to not get on base today.
Well, let's take care of that now.
2-1, missing away. Carew continuing. They are hoping that Carew can go a bit further out of the bullpen, keep things healthy. That's down the line, and fair. Soto will have to hustle.
High.
Throw goes high and away. Oh, and Soto collides with the umpire.
It's going anyway.
He will be safe, though. Plenty of time to field it. What's kind of disappointing, Soto could have maybe reached third if he didn't collide.
Yeah, they
with
weren't
the
coming up with that
infielder.
ball quickly. Not sure why the umpire was in the base path.
He's trying to get a good view of the play, and
I guess
couldn't get out of the way in time.
Well,
good to see no hard feelings, though, between Arrieta and Soto. They're giving a little handshake together.
Yeah, the worst scenario would be they collide and he gets thrown out at second.
You might imagine Soto a little more annoyed if it was a closer game, and that extra 90 feet would have been more useful.
Yes. Well, now everybody's reached base. By hook or crook.
Martinez did so via hit by pitch and error his first 2 tries. Foul. Ponce hasn't reached base, but I am counting him as doing so because he's had 2 productive plays, 2 sacrifice bunts. Okay. And one of them was really close to letting him get on safely. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And Carew gets quickly ahead of Martinez. Jack Martinez. Down to the dirt. Once again, Tampa showcasing the elite discipline that a coach or so side almost always has. Last year, Martinez had a .467 on base percentage at Hillsborough Community College. He'll go down swinging, one away. That'll bring up Jesse Ponce to the plate. Tampa shortstop. Being a pretty nice leadoff and reverse leadoff man most of the year for Tampa. After a red-hot opening few series, Ponce cooled off quite a bit with a cold stretch. But he's hitting back at .260 now as the count goes on.
He was the leadoff hitter yesterday. Now he's the number 9 hitter today.
I believe Ponce is the lone Texan in the squad. He'll advance the runner, but that's an easy play for out number 2. Tampa primarily recruiting out of Florida. Handful of players across the east and west coasts, though. And as Jordan Evans steps back up, he is a Alabama native out of Tuscaloosa.
This is just a baseball-rich state and baseball-rich area, Tampa area.
Some really strong high school programs. A few players on the Mox side are actually from Tampa as well, as the count goes 0-1. 2 hits and a walk today for Evans. So he's got his average back over 400. And what a season he has had at the top and third spot in the order for the Spartans. 2 RBIs on his 2 hits. Chopped to short, takes a high hop, out by a step, inning over. That's exactly the inning you need if you're Carew. 3 up, then a 4th after an error. But no one comes home as one runner is stranded. Tampa leads 9-0 entering the 5th. And just next time you could just hit fire out as well instead of the... Three. Top of the 5th, about to begin. B.J. Bailey's first pitch. Ball 1 up high. And it's his 59th of the game. Bailey about to complete a second trip through the order. Last season, he had good outings against Louisville and NC State for the Tigers of Clemson. 1 down now to bring up Eli Thurman. Bailey's went from a pretty solid arm in D1 to one of the best arms in D2. And thanks to Satin surrendering 2 runs yesterday, Bailey has now assumed a slight cushion at the top ERA of the Tampa rotation. FIP-wise, he would still trail just by a hair. But still, 2 dominant arms leading the staff for the Spartans. 0-1 now. It's Eli Thurman. And after that ludicrously strong start for Satin, which hasn't really let up, he's just been hit around a couple of times recently. Bailey, I think, has been able to shine a little bit brighter as an absolutely vicious 1A and 1B for the Tampa staff, and the count goes 0-2. Bailey would love to go up to a 9-0 record, and as long as Tampa doesn't surrender 9, they should be able to do so. Curveball missing outside. That one falling a bit early again. Eli Thurman ready to go. For Spartan fans tuning in for the first time this weekend, don't get it confused. It isn't the Eli that you know and love out of Tampa's bullpen, the longtime Spartan reliever. That is flared out to center. Woodburn gets it, 2 down. This Eli Thurman, a junior for the Mocs, and a batter compared to a pitcher. Yesterday we saw that Eli Thurman had the most appearances out of the bullpen this season for Notre Dame. Currently a big part of the Fighting Irish bullpen. I don't think he's the closer, but he is a at least high opportunity reliever, someone that coach trusts to come into the game often. And that'll miss down low, 1-0. You know, we always talk about the Spartans who do good things in the pros, but also continuing journeys in D1. It's cool to see Spartans staying strong at the plate and the mound. Inside, 2-0. Will be interesting to see if Anthony Nunez or Jordan Leisure take the mound later today for their respective teams out in Chicago and Baltimore. Saturday baseball continues. Game 1 of 2 today from the Birdcage. The scheduled start time for Game 2 is 4 p.m. It'll probably be closer to 4:30 or 4:45 as the count goes 3-0 to Dory. Dory grounded out on a full count back in the second. Strike 1. Dory was ready to run, left a little bit early. That one was right on the edge of the plate, and maybe in a closer game, that goes for a ball. That is going to be strike 2, also going outside, but right on the black. Full count now for Dory. Bailey, one more strike for a 1-2-3 frame, which would likely end his day today. Fouled. He'll stay alive. If Tampa extends their lead in the bottom of the 5th, that certainly sees Bailey done early here. If not, maybe he goes to the 6th for a quality start. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him the chase. And it's 5 strikeouts in 5 innings for B.J. Bailey. 10 straight outs since the second. We are on to the bottom of the 5th.
Lead, game 2 of 3. Duran goes fishing. It's another. Leisure deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's ball game. 1-2. Strike 3.
Turned out to be a great eye by Ed.
Rain or shine. Swing and a miss. Ortiz chase the slider.
Leisure deals. Held on by McGuire.
Carew stays in the game. He will take on the top of the order, Woodburn, Carlson, Irigoyen for the brand new frame. Pretty productive day for the number 2 team in the nation. This weekend, alumni weekend for the ball team. Alumni night back on Friday. A great chance for Spartan alumni to come to town. Tom Colby has mentioned that that's always been usually a tricky night for the Spartans. Have occasionally had struggles on those days, and, well, they did last night in the 3-1 defeat. Tampa left 12 on the base path. The Mocs left 8. Satin and Moran getting out of trouble. Notably, a bases loaded escape in the 8th. As the count goes 2-1. Tampa left the bases loaded 3 times yesterday. He even did so to start the game today, but they've been a lot more clutch in innings 2 and 3. Hit through the hole, out of range of Jenkins. Second hit for Woodburn, 4th time reaching base today. And that'll put his OBP close to 500. Good showing again from both Tampa and Florida Southern fans. And with a quick check on the runner, here comes Carew. Swing and a miss, strike 1 for Gunnett Carlson. Carlson is a former Rice Owl before making the transfer to Tampa. Started his career at the Central College of Florida and also originally at Florida State. Carlson, one of many Spartan players to come out of the Citrus Conference. Bit of a jump, but the runner stays put. NJCAA play quickly growing into a hotbed for D2 talent. Talent making the jump from JUCO to D2, very common, and that's where some of Tampa's recent stars have come from. Runner goes, throw goes away, although the second baseman's able to back up Jenkins. Second steal of the game for Braden Woodburn. 2-1 count now for Gunnett Carlson. That'll miss, ball 3 to Carlson. Yoander Irigoyen's on deck. Also out of the Citrus Conference with Seminole State College. And right after him, Nick Pereira, coming from Florida Southwestern. Carlson to deep left field. Tracking back is Scott, and it's over his head, off his glove. Woodburn had to back up to make sure he wasn't going to get caught out on a double play if it was caught, so he can't score on a stand-up double from Gunnett Carlson. 9 hits now for the Spartans, and that brings up Irigoyen. And that will get some warm-ups going on for the Mocs. I have to wait and see. Who gets the call? Inside, ball 1. Irigoyen getting out of the way. Fielder's choice in the first. 2 extra base hits since, including a 3-run shot that was the ultimate knockout blow for Bradle. This one foul, 1-1. Philly shielding his eyes from the sun as that one soars right by the birdcage netting. Fouled off the ground. It actually then went up and deflected off Irigoyen's bat. 2 strikes, no outs for Irigoyen. Carew shaking off the first sign. Now he likes the third one, I believe. High and in. Hit to short. This will score a run. It'll also get out number 1. (10-0) Tampa, and that is a 6th RBI on the game for Joander Irigoyen. taking a look. The RBI record in game is 6. Urigoyen has just leveled the Spartans' single game RBI record. If he doesn't get replaced with a pinch hitter, he has a chance to break it 0-1. The last time a Spartan hit 6 RBIs in a game was this year on JV Jack Iovino against Florida Southern on March 29th. 0-2 to books. Previously, the other 3 times it happened was all back in 2006. Billy Wimberly against Eckerd, Lee Cruz against UMass Lowell, and Franklin Pierce. Kind of ironic that those were members of that championship-winning side that got honored with the 20th anniversary last night. Down to the dirt, 1-2. Although I also do wonder if the records are incorrectly formatted on our page. Deep fly ball from Jake Books. Going to land at the wall and bring home a run. Call it a ground rule double. Books will settle in at second, and the run will score. $11-0 Spartans. Second RBI of the frame to bring up Nick Pereira. Run-ahead rule is only in effect for Game 2 of doubleheaders. Typically, it's not also often used in conference play. That would be the spot where you'd start talking about it if it was in play. Pereira ready to go as we continue. Fouled back, 0-1 for Pereira. But it is pretty cool to see the RBI record under threat today for Joandre Irigoyen. 6 in the game, and 1 more would give him the outright RBI single game lead for the Spartans. 1-0 missing outside. At the very least, or 1-1 actually. I think the records are updated as far back as 2004. 1-2 fouled away by Pereira. On the ground to third. Should be out number 2. There was a chance for Books to maybe advance, but he'll stay put in scoring position. And that'll bring up Javi Soto. Reached base via error in the 4th. It's only Jesse Ponce now as a Spartan who hasn't been able to get on board yet today. But Ponce 2 sacrifice bunts, so 2 productive ABs. This should be out number 3. Jenkins toss in time, hitting over. Tampa hits around Carew a bit. They plink 2 runs on 3 hits. 1 left in scoring position. The Spartans up 11-0 entering the 6th.
developing.
B.J. Bailey will go for a quality start. 11 runs, Spartans lead, but he'll get the chance to go 6 innings, and if it's a quick inning, maybe even a 7th. Urso could experiment out of the bullpen with some lower leverage guys here. I was looking at some of the numbers. My guess for someone who could be an opener or spot starter on Tuesday, if not Tobin Moran, one of them I think could be Cade Drowan. 12 innings out of the bullpen this year. Pretty effective. He has fanned 18 in those 12.2 frames. Here comes the first pitch of the new inning. And his brother Slade Drowan, now part of the Brewers organization. Strike. No, it's a ball call. The umpire made a turn, made him look like he was going to point. A couple times crossing us up here. Jenkins, Scott, Harrison Jr. due up, and that'll be strike 2. B.J. Bailey entering the inning on 70 pitches. Here comes number 73. That one falling low for ball 2. Two strikeouts today out of Ryan Jenkins. The 2-2. Outside ball 3. The Mocs haven't had a hit since the first. They haven't had a base runner since the second. Since the top of the second, Tampa has had 10 runs. And 10 hits. Ooh, that drifts inside and hits him on the arm.
And again, if I was the batter, I'd go, it was a 3-2 pitch. You didn't have to hit me.
Yeah. You also imagine with these two teams being rivals at Florida Southern and Tampa, things a little spicy in terms of hit by pitches. Tampa players have gotten plunked a couple times this weekend. Notably Martinez earlier in the third. Yesterday, Woodburn got plunked. Philly got hit as well.
What's Bailey motioning? Pointed toward near the Florida Southern dugout. I know there's a pitch clock there. Maybe it was.
I wonder if he was maybe trying to argue that the batter wasn't in the box with the pitch count or something.
A civil conversation seems to have ended.
Meanwhile, you also see Carlson over at first base chatting with Jenkins a bit. Sometimes, there's a bit of kind of fun chirping across the dugouts. I don't think it was anything related to that.
No.
Especially as you see Jenkins and Carlson pretty chill together over at first. They are keeping an eye on Jenkins. In terms of base stealing prowess this season, he's 3 for 5. Oh, and 1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Scott 0 for 2 today. But the first time he's had strikes against Bailey. Had 2 outs in play on 2-0 counts back in the first and third. He went around, tried to hold up, but a breaking ball that landed a couple of inches in front of the plate.
That's about the third time today we've seen somebody go down on a ball that bounced in front of the plate.
And all of them were half-hearted attempts like that one.
Yeah.
6 Ks for B.J. Bailey.
I mean, it has to be an appealing pitch for a while is what's happening, and then just nosedives way too soon.
Sharp and late break out of that offering. Ball 1 to Harrison Jr. Do wonder if he'll stay as a two-way player. You don't always see too many of them at the D2 level. Hit to third. This could be two. Martinez over to second. Woodburn to first. 5-4-3. And Bailey has a quality start. Tampa's up by 11. So unless he's really pumped up and wants to come back out for the 7th, I'd imagine Coach Urso gives him the rest of the day off to celebrate. 81 pitches, 47 strikes, and an 11-0 lead. We'll be back.
For the future.
There was one goal today for Christian Carew. Don't walk too many people. Well, he did just that, 2 1/3. He did give up a handful of runners and 2 runs, but kept things clean otherwise. He'll exit, take a breather, and Adler Holtz enters the game. And Jack, I know you got some of his numbers.
Yeah, he's got an ERA coming in of 3, no decisions on the year. This is only his 3rd appearance of the year, and only has 3 innings pitched, giving up 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned. No walks, 4 strikeouts on the year. One of those hits was a double. Couple wild pitches on the ledger, too, though.
The freshman out of Valparaiso High School in Valparaiso, Indiana.
Valparaiso.
He's got a brother, Oliver Holtz, also part of the Mocs baseball program.
Really?
Make the count 1-1. Holtz on the JV/developmental team for the Mocs as the count goes 2-1. Also a freshman and a two-way man. Interesting that the Mocs call it the developmental team
instead of JV.
Yeah. But in a way, it is pretty much the same role as that's fouled back 2-2. Tampa's JV team pretty active as well. You'll have Tampa players kind of going in and out of it. I know A.J. Graham hit pretty well in mixed appearances across JV and varsity last year. Ooh. Swing and a miss. And Holtz starts the inning with strikeout number 1 against Martinez. That'll bring up Ponce. One player that for Tampa has been active across JV and varsity, Devin Goldberg. He wears the 11 with JV, the 38 with varsity. First pitch now to Ponce. And with Evans at the plate, looks like Tampa will be keeping their starting lineup out there a little bit longer. And notably for Irigoyen, he will have a chance to set the Spartans single-game RBI record. I will have to double-check the overall record book. The one we have on our site does say that 6 is the record. It's been achieved 4 times. Does feel like with the games that we score so many runs in that we could have someone with maybe an even crazier day at the plate.
Yeah.
It would be special if Irigoyen Could get over 6. 2 extra base hits and most recently an RBI ground out. For now, Ponce gets ahead 2-1. Always an exciting time of year for Tampa sports. Softball, lacrosse, and baseball. Swimming wrapping up with the national championships as of late. Tampa once again bringing home multiple national titles. And Tampa's beach volleyball program, one of the best in the small school division of college beach volleyball, also back to work.
Saw them playing last night after leaving this game.
Trying to remember if that was actually the beach volleyball team or if it was just students doing maybe a intramural event.
Yesterday? Last night? No, there was something going on.
Huh.
Yep.
I know they usually don't play that late, but maybe it was just a
It
midnight
did say
tourney.
7 o'clock. It was the start.
All right, well, that would make sense. Beach volleyball always exciting because you're walking on campus, you'll walk by,
Yeah.
the game's going on.
Yeah.
Runner on first now. Jordan Evans gets another try at the top of the order. And in the on-deck circle in the hole, it is still Carlson and Woodburn. Ball 1 outside. Hit up the middle. That is out of range of second baseman Dory. Ponce stays at second. No reason to try to risk getting caught out at third. And it is a 3-hit day for Jordan Evans. So there's Carlson getting some warm-up swings. I think Irigoyen is awaiting in case of a double play opportunity with the catcher's gear to get back on defense. Always a tricky spot when you're about to maybe hit and you have to quickly pop off the batter's gear, catcher's gear, kind of go back and forth with that. That's going to get into right field, and they are going to send Ponce home. Throw from right will simply hold the runners at first and second. RBI single out of Braden Woodburn. Believe it or not, on his third hit, his first RBI of the game. 12-0 Tampa. Ponce getting some high fives as he heads to the dugout. Matthew Fogel putting on some catcher's gear. He would be the guy you'd see come in the game at the catcher spot. And I imagine that even with this final at-bat for Irigoyen, it could be a defensive change in the next inning, the Fogel. On the corner, strike one to Gunnick Carlson. Doubled last time. He is 1 for 2. Also drew a walk and had a sac fly in the third. Oh, and 2. Carlson whiffs. Would have been the bases full if they held up Ponce, but instead Tampa just takes the run. Burke couldn't get the ball back in play in time. 12 runs on 12 hits now for the Spartans. They have jumped on Holtz early with back-to-back base runners. Fouled. 0-2. Getting sent to Carlson. Hit up the middle to second. This has a chance for 2. Flip to Jenkins, and he'll make the throw on time and on target, inning over. 4-6-3 double play. 2 hits, 2 stranded. 1 run comes home for the Spartans. And a double play makes it a quick inning for Holtz despite the early danger. B.J. Bailey will go for the high-quality start. Maybe a chance at a complete game. His pitch count only at 81, so he'll at least get these next 3 outs. And Jack Ike will enter out of the bullpen for the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
So I can get the win and a save?
Potentially. Well, actually, you get the 3-inning save. You didn't go the qualified length
Oh,
for the
come
win.
on. Now you're nitpicking. Pop up, first base. And Carlson pulls it in. 1 pitch, 1 out for Bailey. That's how you get a 9-inning game if you can do that. I think, weren't you and I discussing one time this, if you were to get an inning out in 3 pitches, it's much better than an immaculate inning.
Yeah. I mean, just a lot better for the arm length, too.
Yes.
Sure, the immaculate inning's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it isn't bad on the pitch count either, only 9.
Yes.
If you have 9 immaculate innings, that's 81 pitches.
Yeah.
But you can be faster with those quick outs.
Just check the temp. It was 85 when we started the game. It says 89 now, so it's hot. Hotter on the field. That field really radiates heat. And it's early April. Philly at the plate. Philly fouls it off. Fielder's choice, he reached, grounded out his last time up.
By the way, I mentioned there's some Florida Southern volleyball players in town. I wonder if they're in a scrimmage against Tampa.
Could be.
And maybe that's why they're at the game.
But that's the uniforms the team that did beach volleyball last night was wearing.
Oh, so maybe it's them. Part of like the weekend series.
Mm-hmm.
I know Tampa baseball and lacrosse, they were both at Embry-Riddle last weekend, and the lacrosse team stopped by.
We've seen that a number of times. You and I do various games, volleyball, basketball, baseball, where the other teams support each other. That's nice to see. Matter of fact, there's 5 basketball players who are manning the ticket booth right now.
Usually those games happen on stand-as-one nights, where all the teams come together, but sometimes also in just different appearances. I remember last year on the softball run to the national championships, after a weekend series rainout against St. Leo, Tampa came to town to cheer on the softball team, helping rally the offense.
Nice. (3-2) to Philly. We are in the 7th. Tampa up 12-0. Ground ball. Ponce lets it get out to him. Lofts it over, and nice scoop by Carlson. Took it on the short hop for the out. 2 down now.
Right fielder, Will Burke.
Brings up Will Burke. He's got 2 strikeouts today. And he hits one out into center field. It's chasing Evans back, and he makes the catch on the warning trap, hops off the wall, and the inning is over. Nice catch by Jordan Evans. They go down 1-2-3. We've played 6.5. Time to get up and stretch. We head to the bottom of the 7th with Tampa up 12-0. Stretch time is over. It's time for a batter as the Spartans holding on to a 12-0 lead in the second game of a three-game series against Florida Southern. Quite a turnabout from yesterday. Spartans lost 3-1 last night. Now holding on to a 12-zip lead in this one. Irigoyen to the plate. We did check the record book. 4 players with 4 RBI, or 6 RBI in a game. One was a JV player recently. Irigoyen with 6 today.
By the way, Ethan Breslin takes the mound for the Mocs, a senior out of Bradenton.
Every at-bat Irigoyen has been up today, he's driven in at least a run. Fielder's choice in the first, 3-run homer in the second, a 1 RBI double in the third, and a ground out brought in a run in the fifth. So if he wants that, nope, not going to get it. Probably his last at-bat. 1 down.
I know Carson might be a little disappointed, kind of spoiled the opportunity for Irigoyen, that inning-ending double play previously.
Yeah. Ethan Breslin, by the way, is pitching for Florida Southern.
Yeah, 1.42 ERA and 6 1/3. 8 Ks to 4 walks. He's been pretty good at this stage of the season. Might be a higher leverage guy just getting an outing here because there's no guarantee that he would get a chance later today as the count goes 1-0. Taking a look at who I think the starter would be, it would probably come down to Jace Rollins or Elliot Jocelyn out of the third part of the rotation for that game today. John Luke Lanton certainly for the Spartans.
Jake Books at the plate. This is his 5th at-bat. He's got a walk and then 3 doubles. Productive day. Amazingly, with his 3 doubles, he's not scored. Does have 2 RBI. And he gets on base again, this time with a walk. He walked in the first, now walks in the 7th.
So another 9-walk Tampa game.
Game earlier this year against St. Leo, 13 walks, couple hit batters, couple errors, and that was a blowout.
Other than that, how was the play, Miss Lincoln?
It was a rout. Strike call.
Disappointing day for Odette, I imagine. St. Leo being his old team where he coached for a while.
Nick Pereira. 5th at bat, 4th official one. Ground ball heading up the middle. They got one, the relay, and the inning is over, which is probably fine for all concerned. Keep this game moving with a 12-0 lead. So nothing across for Tampa. We'll head to the 8th. It's 12-0 Tampa on top on TampaSpartans.tv.
Heartfelt.
We head to the top of the 8th. Pitching change for Tampa. Josiah Velasquez coming in. They stick with the lefty theme. Appears to be the only on-field change Tampa has made here in the 8th.
Interesting that Tampa's not running through subs in this game, but I think after the quiet day yesterday, Urso wants the guys to get more reps to kind of heat back up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in game 2, if Tampa jumped to an early lead, maybe that's where you see more changes. Velasquez has been a higher leverage reliever for the Spartans on the year. 11 Ks and 8 and 2 frames.
First batter he will face is Badaki, who's walked and grounded out and takes a strike. Well, you got to feel for the umpires on a day like this. They wear all black, and they don't have a dugout to go to between innings. They're on the field for the whole game.
When Tampa dons the City Connects, which are also pretty dark in terms of heating up with the sun, at least they get to escape to the dugout.
Mm-hmm. Ball high. Tries to curve it in, stays outside. 2-2 now. Ground ball goes through between first and second for a base hit. Badaki with a hit will bring Eli Thurman to the plate.
That's the first hit since the first
for
the Mocs. First base runners since the second. Not counting the HBP that was quickly removed in the 6th.
I think we have a pinch hitter coming up. Number 42 coming in.
Adrian Davis.
So Velasquez will get ready for him. Just the third hit of the game for Florida Southern. Tampa now 12 runs, 12 hits. That ball gets away and will send Badaki down to second.
Davis is out of Westchester, Ohio. A senior who was a two-sport athlete in high school. First team all-high school conference in both. Big fan of the Reds and Bengals. His favorite athlete is Jackie Robinson. He shares the number 42.
Nice. And he puts down a good bunt. He's going to move the runner. Can they get him at first? They do. Davis is speedy, but the bunt was just a little too crisp. He put it in the best spot to try to beat it out, but it had a little too much power on it and made it out to Martinez quickly. I think we have another pinch hitter coming up. Looks like Gavin Smith.
Pinch hitting is on 1, Gavin Smith.
So Rick Odette going to the bench late in the game.
Just trying to spark something, or maybe at the very least get some extra reps for some guys.
Yeah.
Gavin Smith comes out of Indiana University, Kokomo. 100 hits over 120 games with them.
Fouls it off. One ball, one strike, one out. Man on third now. Popped up. That may be deep enough for a tag. Coming in is Brooks, and they're just going to concede the run anyway, and they'll make it a 12-1 game. They challenged that he left early. Umpire says no.
Good idea just to double check.
Sure.
And
what the heck?
Paid off for Tampa in the playoffs a few years back.
Yeah.
When they famously got a runner leaving early on the Kevin Kiermaier catch.
Pitch hitter number 9, Kenyon Markowitz.
And another pinch hitter coming up, Kenyon Markowitz. And with 2 outs, he takes a strike. Ground ball foul. Ground ball, this time fair, fielded by Carlson. He'll step on the bag. The inning is over. They do pick up a run. It was off a base hit. And at the end of 7.5, Tampa on top 12-1. We'll be right back. Rhett Raymer coming in to pitch for Florida Southern here in the bottom of the 8th. As they've gone about 5 deep now on the mound. Getting some guys just to get some innings in. A couple other changes.
Yeah, a lot of defensive swaps for the Mocs in the frame. Streeter, who was a pinch runner yesterday, is out in left. Burke stays out in right. In center, I believe it'll still be Davis. Burkhart at the hot corner. Marcewicz at short. Smith, Kevin Smith at second. And it's going to be B.J. Rivera coming in at first. Can't tell the number. I do think it is still Philly at home plate.
Okay. Raymer comes in. This is his 3rd appearance of the year. He's only pitched an inning and 2/3, given up 1 hit, walked 2, struck out 2, has no ERA. So a limited body of work at this point. Javi Soto will be the first batter to face Raymer here in the bottom of the 8th. Soto for the day. Flew out, grounded out. Fouls that one off. Grounded out. And reached on an error. Off-speed pitch stays high. 1-1. Raymer, the righty. Off speed, line down third base, but foul. Martinez is on deck. No changes coming up. Ball low. Fly ball, center field. Going back is Davis. Waits near the track, makes the catch. So 1 up, 1 down. Martinez strolls to the plate. Martinez today walked, got hit by a pitch, struck out his last 2 times. The 2 times he got on, he scored. And he gets a base hit. And that one gets through, going all the way to the wall. Martinez heading for second. He's going to head for third. We're going to have a play at third. Here's the throw. They've got him. Had him by about 3 feet.
Yeah, when you're up 12-1, you can gamble a little,
Sure.
see if you can extend. I don't know if Urso waved him through. If that throw wasn't a perfect relay, because it was perfectly landing right in front of Burkhart for the tag, I think Martinez would have been able to swim in safely. But essentially did an MLB The Show blue meter trying to time the throw with the game control. Good relay out of the Mocs defense.
So now 2 outs. And Jesse Ponce at the plate.
Game continues. I do think they're going to bring back Evans again.
Why not? Yeah. Ponce looks at a curveball for a strike. Fouled off. One ball, 2 strikes. Ponce on the day, officially 0 for 4, or 0 for 3. Had a walk his last at bat. All ground outs. Raymer in the stretch, fires. Inside low. Two pitch on the way. Off speed, hit out into center field. Davis running, coming in, and it falls. Between a diving Davis coming in from center field and a diving Smith from second base, it fell right between them both. Just a well-placed ball and a base hit for Ponce.
So tough to get to. I love the hustle out of Smith, though. And here comes Evans again. He had like a 4-hit day here. He's currently 3 for 4.
He's got a walk, 3 base hits, 2 RBI, 2 stolen bases, scored 3 times, and there's a ground ball. That should end the inning, though. Shovel it over. Inning is over. We'll head to the 9th. Spartans don't score. Had a double and a runner thrown out at third. So we'll head to the top of the 9th. Tampa on top, 12-1. We'll be right back. Last chance for the Mocs as we head to the top of the ninth inning, a 12-1 Tampa lead. You know, Taylor, I'm looking over at the bleachers here, and it's been a few years now since they put the covers over the bleachers, but before that, the aluminum seats would really, really, really get hot. Literally, as they say, you could fry an egg on them. They were just like a frying pan.
We definitely have to try that out on these summer days. Interesting concessions idea.
Yeah, get a stadium-made omelet.
Now, what would you put in it? Because you probably wouldn't want to do just eggs.
No.
It'd probably taste too much like the seat, but if you masked it with vegetables, maybe it would help. That or meats. I'd probably go for some bacon.
Could be novel. Have a come watch them like hibachi style. Come watch them cook on the bleachers.
Definitely. Hibachi fried rice is awesome. My favorite food.
Yeah, it wouldn't have to be eggs. It could be total hibachi. Steak teriyaki.
Shrimp.
Yeah. Fouled off.
That would also be a good, that foul ball hitting one of the scouts down by the dugout.
Oh.
There's the netting, but a little gap that allowed that one to drop in his lap.
Every so often that does happen. I haven't seen it in a while, but people sitting down there always have to have their heads up. This is Streeter, who played yesterday. He went out into center field where Jordan Evans makes the catch. One up, one down.
Yeah, Streeter was actually already on the game in defense in the previous frame, out and left. So keeps with the at-bat. Same thing for Rivera. He filled in at first base, and he's still playing there. But kind of talking back about hibachi, I wonder if with the sake bottle where they kind of spray the sake and you try to drink it, that would be an interesting fan game as well. You know, if a vendor kind of came across and challenged fans to do it.
Two balls, no strikes. Velazquez fouls it back.
Only 2 hits this season for B.J. Rivera. One of them was a home run. Part of the 29 the Mocs staff has had this season.
Down the line, it's going to curve foul. What's his stats? He's tall. They have a few tall players on their roster, don't they?
Yeah, only 6'1".
Really? I'm going to say 6'5". Ground ball. Ponce. And the out. 2 down. 1 more to go.
I like Velazquez just kind of shaking off the initial run he surrendered. He did have one shaky blow-up outing against Davenport earlier in the season, his lone loss on the year, but other than that, pretty much locked down out of the Spartans bullpen. He's been a setup man a lot of the times for Tampa too.
Burkhart at the plate. Popped up his first time up back in the 7th. Ball a little bit high. 2-0.
3-0 actually.
3-0, okay. Walked him on 4.
And I think they finally changed from Philly. It's going to be the number 6. Maybe first appearance there for Josh Hines. Nope, he's actually had quite a few games.
Josh Hines. First pitch is a ball. And, that one's close. Ball 2. So Velasquez now with 6 straight balls.
Yeah, it's been a lengthy frame for Velasquez. Wonder if he might be getting a little bit tired. Mainly been a bullpen guy out of Florida Southwestern College last year.
Ground ball foul. 2-1.
He did succeed in multi-inning roles, though. Out of 20 games, he had 43 innings. 45 Ks to 11 walks last year.
2-1 on the way. Ball 3. Irigoyen with the sign. Velasquez is set. Wines fires. Popped up. Playable. Moving over is Woodburn. Taking the play, though, is Carlson for the ball game. Tampa wins it. Final score, Tampa 12, Florida Southern 1. B.J. Bailey gets the win, goes to 9-0 on the year. And on the season now, Tampa 13-1 in conference play, 27-5 overall. Florida Southern falls to 7-6 and 17-14 overall. And since these are the only two teams playing in the SSC, Eckerd and Rollins stay right behind Tampa at 14-4. So the Spartans win it. We've got another game coming up in about 30 to 45 minutes, a little bit after 4 o'clock. Stay with us then. But for Taylor Stolworthy, this is Jack Ike saying thanks for joining us. You've been watching right here on TampaSpartans.tv.